Good morning students, welcome to my channel Digital Generation. This channel is regarding chapter wise preparation for both ICSE and CBSE students. I hope you will get best knowledge and explanation from this channel. Today we are going to study about the application of the heating effect of current. Heating effect of current is applied on the working principle of the heating electrical appliances like electric kettle, electric iron, electric heater, water heater or geyser, electric toaster, hair dryers, etc. All these heating electrical appliances work on the principle of heating effect of current because they contain heating element which is made of very high resistance wire called nichrome. When electric current passes through this high resistance wire called nichrome, then it becomes very hot and produces heat, can go up to the temperature of 900 degrees centigrade. But the heating electrical appliances which are connected to the main supply by connecting wires contains copper wire, and copper has very low resistance, so heat is not produced in the connecting wire. Connecting wire produces negligible heat and thus does not become hot, whereas nichrome has a very high resistance and thus produces heat and so becomes very hot. It reaches up to the temperature of 900 degrees centigrade. Heating effect of current is also applied in case of electric bulbs. In electric bulbs, when electric current passes through the thin, high resistance filament of tungsten, then they becomes white hot and emits light. Electric bulb contains the filament made of tungsten. Tungsten is a metal which has very high resistance and very high melting point. 3380 degrees centigrade is its melting point. So when electric current passes through this tungsten wire, then it becomes white hot and emits light, which is actually infrared light which is emitted by the electric bulb. So in electric bulbs, electric energy is converted into heat energy and light energy, and thus it emits light. We will now study why we use tungsten wire in case of filament bulb. Tungsten wire has very high melting point, so it becomes white hot but it does not melt, and for this reason it is used as a heating filament of electric bulb. Tungsten has also very high resistance. Tungsten filament has also very low rate of evaporation. And the last, tungsten wire has very high flexibility. High flexibility. Thus, these are the reasons why tungsten wire is used as a filament wire in electric bulb. Still, filamentous bulb has some disadvantages. In filament bulb, power consumption is not efficient. Electrical energy is first converted into heat energy. It becomes white hot and then it emits light. Then it is converted into light energy. So much amount of electric energy is wasted in producing heat. That is, the power consumption is not efficient in electric bulb. In case of non-filamentous bulb like LED bulb, CFC bulb and tube light, all these have no filament and thus they are more power efficient than filament bulb. Inside of the filament bulb, it is filled with inert gas or inactive gas like argon and nitrogen, or the mixture of both are used to fill up the bulb, because if air is filled in this filament bulb, the air contains oxygen, so it goes oxidation reaction, and when the tungsten becomes white hot, then it burns in presence of oxygen. So if inert gas like argon, nitrogen or the mixture of argon and nitrogen are used, prolonged life of the filament is maintained. Filament of the bulb is maintained if inert gases are filled in filamentous bulb. When the tungsten becomes white hot, it reaches up to the temperature of 2500 degrees centigrade. Third case, we will see that heating effect of electric current is also used in fuse wire, and this is the most important application of heating effect of current. Fuse wire is made of tin plated copper wire. Fuse wire is used as thin wire and short also. So what are the characteristics of fuse wire? Fuse wire will be short, thin and tin plated copper wire. Tin plated copper wire has very low melting point, whereas if it is made of pure copper, then copper has very high melting point. When the flow of current increases in the circuit, due to any reason, low melting point of tin plated copper wire becomes hot and it melts. As it melts, the circuit is disconnected and the current flow is stopped in the circuit. When the fuse wire is melted, then it protects the household wiring from overheating, and it also protects the electrical appliances from getting damaged. It is very important that fuse wire must have tin plated copper wire. In second case, I have told you that fuse wire is very thin. We know that resistance is inversely proportional to area of cross section. So in thin wire, resistance is more in thin wire, and thus as resistance is more, according to the Joule's law of heating, we know that heat is directly proportional to the resistance. So when resistance is more in thin wire, then it produces more heat, and as it produces more heat, so it melts first. When fuse wire melts first, then it disconnects the circuit and the current flow in the circuit stops. So the household wiring is protected from overheating, as well as the electrical appliances are also protected from damage by overheating. Resistance wire is very short because we know that resistance is directly proportional to length. So short wire has less resistance, and thus when resistance is less, more current flows through this. And when more current flows, according to Joule's law of heating, that heat is directly proportional to the square of the current. So when more current flows, then more heat will be produced. As more heat is produced, then the tin plated copper wire of the fuse melts, and as the tin plated copper wire of the fuse melts, it breaks the circuit, and thus the current flow in the circuit is disconnected. So it protects the household wiring as well as the electrical appliances from getting damaged. Thus these are the characteristics of fuse wire: thin, short and tin plated copper wire. In this question, that electrical resistivities of 4 materials are given. P has resistivity of 6.84 into 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter. Q has 1.70 into 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter, and R has 1.0 into 10 to the power 15 ohm meter, and S has 11.0 into 10 to the power minus 7 ohm meter. Now we have to give reason which material is used for making number 1 heating element of electric iron, connecting wires of electric iron and covering of connecting wires. We know that insulators have the highest resistance, and copper or aluminum, which are used for making connecting wires, has the lowest resistance as they are good conductor of electricity, and insulators which has the highest resistance are the least conductor of electricity. And nichrome is a metal alloy which is used as a heating element of electric iron. So from this we will find which is having the highest resistivity from here. Then the highest resistivity will be used as insulators or covering of the connecting wires. So highest resistivity is found in 10 to the power 15, that is 1.0 into 10 to the power 15 ohm meter. This must be used as a insulating wire. This must be either plastic or rubber. So covering of connecting wire must have the highest resistivity. So R will be the answer. R will be used for covering of connecting wires. Now connecting wires are copper or aluminum which has very low resistivity because they are good conductors of electric currents. So that is Q, 1.70 into 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter. So Q will be used for making connecting wires as it has the lowest resistivity. Heating element of electric iron must be metal alloy, that is nichrome, and nichrome has the resistivity between insulators and pure metal. This is insulator and copper, this is copper. So 11.0 into 10 to the power minus 7 ohm meter must be the nichrome. This must be the nichrome. S will be the answer. So heating element of electric iron will be S, as it is having the resistivity between pure metal copper and plastic or insulators. Next question, it is asked that why the filament of the electric bulbs behave differently from the other wire in the electric circuit. Filament is made of tungsten. When electric current passes through the filament bulb, it becomes white hot and emits light because tungsten has very high resistance. So the filament of the bulb behaves differently, whereas the connecting wire which is used to connect the bulb to the main supply, they produce negligible heat, and as negligible heat is produced, so they do not become hot. As it does not become hot, so it does not emit light. So connecting wire has low resistance, as it is made of copper or aluminum. This is the difference. The filament wire becomes white hot and then it emits light, as because tungsten has very high resistance, whereas the connecting wires which is used to connect the bulb to the main supply has very low resistance. It is made of copper or aluminum, so it produces negligible heat and does not become hot and does not emit light. Next, now look at this question. A resistance of 40 ohm and 60 ohm are arranged in series across 220 volt power supply line. Find the heat produced in joules if it is used for half a minute. Here the resistances are connected in series, so the combined resistance will be 60 plus 40 is equal to 100 ohm, and time is here given half a minute, means half into 60 is equal to 30 seconds, and voltage is given 220 volt. First of all, we have to find current from Ohm's law. I is equal to V by R. V is equal to 220 and R is equal to 100 ohm. So 2.2 ampere. Here current is 2.2 ampere. Now we have to find heat produced. Heat produced is equal to H is equal to I square R T. I is 2.2 amperes square into R. R is 100 ohm into T. T is given 30 seconds. Is got 2.2 into 2.2 into thus 14,520 joules of heat is produced when resistance of 40 ohm and 60 ohm are connected in series across 220 volt supply line, and it is used for half a minute. Question is asked, explain why the heating element of heater becomes very hot whereas connecting wires leading to the heater is slightly warm. So we will take the heating element first. We know that heating element of the heater is made of nichrome, and nichrome has very high resistance, and we know that H is directly proportional to resistance. So as nichrome has very high resistance, so it produces more heat because heat is directly proportional to resistance. When resistance is more, heat produces also more. Connecting wire is made of copper which has very low resistance, and as resistance is less in copper wire or connecting wire, so negligible amount of heat is produced in case of connecting wire, and thus it becomes slightly warm, whereas the heating element becomes very hot because it has very high resistance. Nichrome has very high resistance. Now it is asked, state 3 factors on which the heat produced by an electric current depends. The factors are current, heat produced depends on, I have told you the formula, H is equal to I square RT. So heat produced depends on current, resistance and time for which it is used. Thus, three factors on which heat produced depends are current of the circuit, resistance of the circuit and the time for which it is used. How does it depend? Heat produced is directly proportional to square of the current. That is, when the current is double, heat produced become 4 times, and when current is half, heat produced become 1/4 time. And heat produced is directly proportional to the resistance. So when resistance is more, heat produced is more. When resistance is less, heat produced is also less. And time, heat produced is directly proportional to time. If time is increased for a fixed resistor and for a given current, then heat produced will also be increased, and if time is decreased, heat produced will also be decreased. Now in the last question, at a given time, house is supplied with 100 ampere of current at 220 volt supply line. How many 75 watt 220 volt bulbs could be switched on in the house at the same time if they are all connected in parallel? So here current I is given 100 ampere and volt is given 220 volt. So we will calculate the power. 220 volt and current is equal to 100 is equal to 22000 watt is given to this house at the time. Now 75 watt 220 volt bulb are used. Then how many such bulbs will be used? We will divide 22,000 divided by 75, almost 293 bulbs. So 293 bulbs could be switched on in the house at the same time if they are connected in parallel and the current supplied is 100 ampere at 220 volt. Question is asked, if two bulbs, one is filled with air and the second bulb is filled with nitrogen, we will have long life. Now we know that the filament of the bulb is made of tungsten and in air there is oxygen. So when tungsten becomes white hot, that is become very hot and emits light, at that time when it comes in contact with oxygen, then oxidation takes place and it burns. So this bulb will not last long because it will burn as oxidation reaction takes place in presence of air. In case of nitrogen filled bulb, nitrogen is inert gas. In that case, the tungsten when becomes white hot will emit light and it will not be oxidized. So the nitrogen filled bulb will have longer life than air filled bulbs. In my next class, I will teach you about the magnetic effect of current. Thank you for watching my video, and if you find my video useful, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. And if you have any doubt regarding this chapter, please comment below. I will try to answer as early as possible.